to the state of the family.
Okay, everybody make some notes. Think about the
President.
All right.
President of the family.
Thanks, Brian. There's no president. We all are family. So we're all are presidents. First, I want to just say thank you for Al for putting on this event. I'm not going to wait to the end of the program to say how important it is for family to come together. And it starts with a spark. It starts with someone having an idea. And I want to thank Al for that. Before I start talking about the state of the family, I also want to share a few words about my sister, Dolores. I know this is a tribute. This is not just a tribute to the family, but also some special things that Dolores has done for the family. I can remember when I was, this high, and I can remember some of the things that she did when on Halloween when I was that high. Those things don't. She's acting like she don't remember, but her and my sister Pat, who's not here, dressed me up as a girl and took me out on Halloween. Later on, Dolores ended up living with me for a while. And I can remember all of the times that we shared. I was going through some hard times at that time, and it was good to have my sister come in and help, with my children. I can remember how she has grown from where she started. And Chris mentioned about her moving down to the valley and taking care of mom and dad, and I appreciate that because what we show is the growth. Philip was talking about the Lopez years, and the Lopez years, I was a baby there. And you think about how people grow. And I thank God for the growth of Dolores. I thank God for what she has done, and this is a special tribute. And I appreciate everything that Dolores has done in our family. So, now, Al asked me to talk about the state of the family. I had prepared a few things. And I had written down some things and I forgot them at home. So that means that I'm supposed to just speak from the heart.
That's right.
So what I'd like to start with is the fact that we have a great legacy. We have a legacy that goes back even before those that are here. We go back all the way back into slavery times. There was an article that was on the news not too long ago about having African Americans trace their history all the way back to Africa. Okay? Most of the history that you could trace is only in records that you see that's in some archive. But they're now having a way of tracing DNA all the way back to Africa. Right? And I'm starting to trace that back to find out where we were. But if we knew where we were, I believe we are descendants of kings.
Of course.
In fact, I know all the way back to the Bible, we are descendants of kings. And that starts with the legacy and belief of God. And I believe my mother, my father, Banks, others have long time believed and have faith. And the legacy goes back to that belief of who you are, and how you can believe in God and have that faith. I noticed that on the program, Alan mentioned the greatest, and now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And that's what I think our family represents, is love. Because it's not just those who were birthed in the family, but also those families and friends that have been adopted to the family. And this is the kind of love and the legacy that we come up with. Okay. But as we move on down the line, there's questions that come up to what is going to happen to the family in the future. I had, I went off and I left it, but my son, who's now 19, he had wrote something when he was about 10 that we shared at a previous family reunion. I'll have to kind of paraphrase on it. But it was something about talking about the family and how important it is to have family reunions, family, coming together. And one of the things that he picked up on, he says, when we get old, and again, he was 10 years old at that time, he was saying how horrible he thought it would be when he reaches, 30, 40 years old. And because in his mind, he was wondering what is going to happen to the family. So the answer to that doesn't have to end with his question. The answer comes from all of us. The state of the family is how we are today. The state of the family is what we do and how we do with it right now. Let's forget about tomorrow in terms of things that may have happened in the past. We might have had situations where we've come into problems years ago with someone in a family that we haven't even picked up the phone to call. So the state of the family begins with us right now. You need to think about the things that might have happened in the past. Forget it, bury the hatchet. Come up to those, and there might be somebody here that you haven't seen in a long time. What you need to do is go and hug them. Say, I'm sorry, or maybe it's something that they did to you, and now you're looking the other way. But maybe you need to move on with that forgiveness spirit and see the love that they have, and then that kindles that relationship. So the state of the family, I believe is you can't really just paint a picture and look, 30 years from now and see what it's going to be, because it's a step-by-step process. We got to love each other. We got to care for each other. We got to show how much love there is that we have. I can remember when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I used to go and spend time up in Point Arena with my Uncle Herman. And I can remember spending time with my cousin Greg. And I can remember how much good times we had. But as we got older, we kind of lost touch, where we're not communicating today. During the December time frame, we had an event at my house, and I ended up having, about 10 or 12 of the young children stay with me that night. Yeah, that was an event. But what I noticed is that the cousins were interacting with each other. They were just like best friends, not just family. And what I wonder is what's going to happen when they become teenagers, when they turn 20 or 30 years old. So some of them are present here, and I want them to listen up now, because what we need to do is continue to touch and reach out to the family. Not just, these events that are here, they're just not just, coming down and having a good food to eat, or, these are things that they are watching. They are watching the adults, they're watching and seeing how we're interacting with each other. So we always got to think about this event here. Reaching out to those that may not even be here, okay, for certain reasons. We got to think about that. So, again, the state of the family, I believe, comes from a great legacy. And we have a great legacy that we can move on to. And I don't want to think like my son thought, that in 30 or 40 years, wondering what's going to happen to the family. Because each of us can carry the torch to move on, just like a marathon race, or a relay race where someone passes the baton. The young ones, we're going to be passing the baton to the young ones. And I want them to think about what's going to happen in the future. I want them to think about family. I'm wondering who is going to, like Al has reached out to the family to set up this event. Who's going to be the young one that's going to step up to be able to show and carry on the family torch? So as all of these are sitting, Dante and Antoine, Poppy, as you're listening, as you become teenagers, as you become the age of your fathers and your mothers, I want you to be able to come up and step up and stand in front of the people and be able to lead the family. Because that's what this is all about. There was, I don't know how many people seen Medea's family reunion. Yes. Right. Well, there was a lot of touching points in there. There was a point in there where Cicely Tyson, I think they were sitting in the kitchen, and one of the other matriarchs of the family was there. and they talked about and they looked at the young ones, and they wondered about what's going to be happening to them. But I will tell you that if we can keep rooted the love of God, if we keep rooted the love of family, we will be okay. There will be a film that we'll be able to show 30 years from now and show how much love there is. This is not just a game. This is not just just coming to socialize. This really means something to the young ones, because this is something that they can carry on. This is something that they can look at and wonder what's going to happen in the future, and they can come up and handle it as well. So I want to thank everybody, for coming here today. I think the state of the family is strong.
Amen.
I think the state of the family could be stronger, because again, there's some people that are not here, and there could be various reasons why they're not here. But if you know why some of the reasons why they're not here, they may have fallen out with one particular member, well, give them a call. Give them a call on the phone and have a conversation with them. We thank Marge. I see Marge just coming in. I was just talking about that, but I just wanted to again say thank you for all of you that you've done. Marge. So again, the family is strong, and I thank God for the legacy, Miss Banks and my mom and dad and others. Some of those have passed on, but we are here, and we got a future to move ahead. And the state of the family, it will be proven by what we do and how we do it for the rest of our lives. Amen.